Jim, I don't want to be rain on a parade or anything like that, but we just got news over the lunch hour that Burgers in Sheridan Village is closing. In fact, it was while your speech was going. What's the reaction?
Timing is everything. You know, I think that it really speaks to what a significant portion of the address about today, and that's the struggles that bricks and mortar retail are having in this environment. And you know, Bergner's has been around this community for a long, long time. They've been a good company, provided good products, and employ a lot of our people. But they're falling victim, like a lot of the other bricks and mortars folks are, to the competition that they're against with the internet. So I'm sad to see them go. We will be encouraged to work with the owners to hopefully fill that space at Sheridan Village and keep moving forward. So we'll bring up the entrepreneurs.
You got to go over the point real quick of just the significance of all these startups that have blossomed this year and how that impacts the city.
I'm sorry.
How the significance of the startups, the businesses that are.
How significant are they, and what kind of impact?
And I'm sorry, can you hear you? It's extremely significant for a couple reasons. Probably the biggest one is as the dynamics of the workplace and the environment for jobs changes, we can't rely on companies coming into our community and providing 200, 300, 400 or more jobs. Those days are long behind us. I don't think we're going to see Amazon here or anywhere else in the state for that matter, but it's really important for us to have these new companies that are evolving, that are going to grow into employers. Some of them may end up being in big numbers, but the majority of small businesses are not in the hundreds. The majority of small businesses are, 10, 15, 20, and multiples of tens like that. So it's very important. The other part of it that's very important is for this area and this region of our country to be known as an area where these young thinkers, these young, energetic minds can come and get support that they need to grow their businesses. As I said, we really do need to work a lot more on the funding side of this, how to help them fund these businesses, whether it's through venture capital or other means, but we also need to have people here in business that are willing to work with them and mentor them as they go forward. So, Randon Geddes and Chris Setti and myself and a couple other people went up to Chicago last week and visited M-Hub. For those of you who are familiar with M-Hub, it is a mind-boggling enterprise for a person like me, but to see all these people working in that maker space that have great concepts, they have really good ideas, they can go in there and leverage other people's knowledge, other people's business skills, opportunity to work with state-of-the-art equipment as they grow their businesses and learn. So can Peoria do something like M-Hub? No. It's tens and tens of millions of dollars. Can we do a smaller version of that? Absolutely. Can we do it as good? Absolutely. We have a lot of good young talent here that can do that. So that really is a long answer to your question of why is that so important, but that's what we need to be thinking of. It's really naive for any community to be thinking that we're just going to get lucky and have somebody that's going to come here and start a business and employ hundreds of people.
You talked about the need to focus on the needy in our community and even neighborhoods, and we know that Kroger is closing. What's next for this? I mean, how are we going to help these people?
Well, there's a lot of things in the short term. There's a lot of things that the community is doing to step up and help the people that live in those two neighborhoods. I don't want to say anything yet because there's an announcement coming out this week about an initiative that's actually going to be able to get those people to stores. So in addition to that, there's a lot of people. Senator Kaler's working hard on that, Denise Moore, Councilman Reagan-Bach. A lot of people are working really hard to try to see what we can do to fill those spaces, and we're going to continue to do that. I hate to go back to it again, but a brick and mortar grocery store faces the same challenges that a Bergner's does. I mean, it's really hard, and you know, you can buy groceries online now too. So it's one of those issues that's going to continue to be challenged to our community, but we'll keep working on it.
You talking about funding. You every year it seems like you are concerned about the pension system. At some point, this has to yield. How much longer can the city go without some sort of reform? And what kind of information you're getting out of Springfield that something might happen?
With all due respect, my confidence level of information coming out in Springfield that something might happen on this is not real good. I do think that this past year I've seen and listened to more discussion about how they can go about tackling this issue than I have in the last 10 years. But it literally is crippling both the state as well as us. I can really only speak from our point. How long can we go? I don't know. Typically, we use the majority of our property taxes to cover our liability for our pensions. Within the next year or two, we will not have enough revenues generated by property taxes to pay our pension obligations. There was legislation created last year that will allow local pension boards to come into the communities that they're in and actually take sales tax dollars to compensate for whatever level was not funded by the community. So, you know, we've been able to meet those actuary numbers, but again, the way things are going, we don't have a lot of time left because that number is growing at a much higher rate than what our property taxes are being increased in. So we're potentially looking at a situation in the next 2 years where the pension boards can come in and come after our sales tax dollars to make up any difference that there might be in that shortfall. And then again, you get into sales tax dollars being the dollars that we need to operate our police department and our fire department and so on.
I know you wanted to keep it pretty positive, but in terms of challenges, I believe you said this is probably the biggest one the city is facing, the pension issue.
It is. And has been, and will be till they get it. And you know, part of that's an information piece that people understand. They think that when we negotiate with our representative folks, that part of the negotiations are on pensions, and that's all done in Springfield. They determine what the pensions are and how much they're going to get, and so on.
What do you think will really move the needle on economic development? You mentioned a few things, but what's really going to drive it?
I think we mentioned it, and I can't put enough emphasis on how strong it is for us to recognize these new minds, these people that are very innovative, they're very energetic, they have products. Many of these products you're going to see and are seeing. Not just locally, but around the country and around the world, that are happening right here. So part of that is helping people understand that we didn't just start doing that we've been doing that, but we need to put more focus on it, help them be more successful. Maybe this would be a good segue to have some of those folks come up here and we can ask them a few questions about their business, how important it is to have the community support and as we said, funding for what they do and mentors to help them do that.
We have time for one more question. You
no,
guys
we're gonna have all the.
But yeah, I was going to say we also have the startup owners that
Yes.
are here, and they are available for media questions as
How
well.
much easier was it to write this speech than last year's speech?
I had no last minute changes this year.